County courthouses keep many records which are public records. This means that the public may view these records. Many of these records are now available online, making it much easier to view them. There are still many records that must be seen at the courthouse or where the records are stored. This video will give a brief overview of some of the types of records kept by courts. It will also go over a few simple suggestions if you are wanting to visit a courthouse to see their records. The next few videos will cover in more detail the different types of records, how to find them, and helps in learning how to read these records. If a person owns property and they have the desire to have their possessions distributed in a certain way after they have died, they would write out a will. Often these wills were written within a week or two or just days before a person died. The will then needed to be taken to the courts and recorded by their family after the person has died. Estates. Estates usually consist of an inventory and then a distribution of the property. The inventory usually just lists the items a person owned. For genealogical purposes, the distribution is usually more helpful in identifying family members, friends, and neighbors. Guardianship. Guardianship records were created because a parent or both parents died and a child or children needed to be taken care of by someone. Through guardianship records, we usually find the father's name or parent that died, sometimes the mother's name, the child or children's names, and the appointed guardian. Counties keep records of all the land within their boundaries. All buying and selling of land is recorded. Many counties are now providing this information online. If the information is only an indexed record, you may want to seek out the original record. Court cases basically covers everything else. You never know what you will find. Some of the reasons for court cases are divorces, legal issues over property, battle over custody of children, breaking of the law, etc. There will be different videos on these different types of court records. Many of them are handwritten and hard to read because they are in a different cursive style of writing. But if you know what to look for, the records become easier to read and glean the information that you need to know for your family history. The rest of this video will cover visiting a courthouse. If you can't find the information you're looking for online, you might want to actually visit the courthouse and see the actual court records. The following are some suggestions of things you might want to do before going to the courthouse. You should contact the courthouse before going to make sure that they have the types of records you are looking for. Or you might want to ask them what type of records they have that you may look at. Find out if they have any of their records available online. Find out if some of those records are kept in another location besides the courthouse. And do they allow visitors to view those records? You can usually find their visiting hours online. An email or phone call might be good, as sometimes there are occasions when the visiting hours have changed. COVID-19 has caused many government facilities to strictly limit who can visit and view the records. There may be sign-ups ahead of time to limit the number of people who can come and look at the records. Just be prepared. Make sure you have the address and directions to the courthouse. You may want to find out about the parking situation near the courthouse. For rural counties, this usually isn't a problem, but when courthouses are in a large city, you will want to know where you can park and how much it will cost before going to the courthouse. If there are meters, you will want to know if you need coins for the meters. You will want to know if the courthouse has restrictions on what you can bring into the courthouse. They may or may not allow computers, cameras, or other electronic devices. They may not allow you to bring in drinking water or other liquids. You may need to go through a metal detector when you enter. You may need to wear a mask. Some courthouses require you to lock up some of your possessions when entering the courthouse. A few years ago, we went to a courthouse. If we had called ahead of time, we would have learned that we didn't need to stand in a line for all the other patrons who were there taking care of other county matters. Find out beforehand where to enter to view the records. Items you may want to bring: paper, pen and pencil, computer, phone with camera, coins for a coffee machine, magnifying glass, maps, beverages, list of what you want to look for. If you can't visit the courthouse, you can contact local historical societies and ask if they have volunteers or others you can pay to research the county records. There are often local people willing to look up records for you. This may be very cost-effective, as they often know how to search the records and can do so more efficiently than you can. You may also save the long-distance travel costs by hiring someone to look up the records for you. If you are going to travel to visit a courthouse, you may also want to find out if there is a local historical or genealogical society that might have collections of records that will be of interest to you. These historical societies often keep local magazines, family histories, and a multitude of other records they have found dealing with people who live in their county. Happy hunting!